What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're going to be taking a second look at the Dino Tamer because a little bit more info has actually been brought up. I'm just on the Trove website right now. I'll have a link in the description to all of this, and big shout out to Skyrider for actually finding all of this in the basic game's code. We get a nice look at the Dino Tamer's costumes as well as the abilities. The description for each of them is as follows. The right mouse button throws a net on the ground, which roots enemies, which means trapping them, and damage them within an area, and it also lasts 10 seconds. Now, this is very interesting because Trove doesn't really have any character outside of the Candy Barbarian and the Revenant's ultimate that can hold enemies in place. So it would be really, really nice if that's what the Dino Tamer's role is going to end up being, especially if the ability ends up lasting 10 seconds. However, this could be a 10-second cooldown, but I wouldn't really see it, especially for a right-click ability. And then we've also got the Dino Buddy, which is the second ability, which would be number 1 on your keyboard, where he throws down a piece of meat on the ground, which summons a random dinosaur to fight nearby enemies. And then he ended up digging some information where there are going to be 3 variants of these dinosaurs. There's going to be one for damage, one that stuns, and one that tanks. Now, I don't know how I feel about this because it means that one of your abilities is based on random chance, and that's not something that I particularly like. And most people that actually know about this have kind of teased at the idea that, leave it to the Trove devs to put RNG even in the new class and stuff. And it's just, through my tutorials, if you haven't already seen them, but I kind of make fun of the fact, I don't like any of the abilities of any of the characters that are reliant on random chance, because it means that it's something you can't anticipate and you can't calculate. Now, granted, it could end up being a little bit different in the final product. Maybe if they would have it where it spawns 1 dino, 2 dino, 3 dino, and always in that order, that would be okay, because that would be something that you could actually count on. Now, the fact of the matter is as well that, because these are all kind of random and stuff like that, the fact of the matter is that the damage one is probably the one that you're going to be most reliant on in the late game, I would assume, because stunning is not really important and tanking is definitely not an issue so long as you have all the flasks and stuff like that. So potentially that means what? The Dino Tamer could end up completing a dungeon super duper fast or take a really long time? I don't know. That sounds really weird to me, but the final product will tell. And then of course the ultimate, like we mentioned in the last video, ride a special dinosaur mount which boosts your abilities. Now, this is interesting because it says specifically that it boosts your abilities, and what that tells me, and I wouldn't be surprised about that, is that hopefully it means your basic attack is going to end up being good, but it also means that your snare might end up stepping up, and I'm hoping the dino buddies that you summon, maybe they end up being really small when you summon them at first, and maybe if you use your ult, they would all transform into bigger dinosaurs, more threatening or something like that, and kind of do more damage or something. I don't know. I'm just saying that would be really, really cool if they ended up doing that. And then the passive, this is where things get a little bit interesting. Killing an enemy with a net debuff, that's the right click, applied to them will yield energy recharging meat. Now, this implies that the character is similar to the Pirate Captain, where it probably doesn't regenerate energy, or at least regenerates energy very, very slowly, or is very highly dependent on it, and because of that, you're going to be using it a lot. Either way, it means that you're going to be spamming your right click a lot. And, that's one thing that is kind of the theme of Trove. I tease about it sometimes as well, where it's all of the classes in Trove have you throwing stuff on the ground. You're pretty much just making a mess, And I personally don't really like that so much as just the basic attacking. That's kind of why I main the Shadow Hunter compared to the other characters. But it's okay. It's not really bad, but it's we already have the Chloromancer, the Dracolite, we're already throwing stuff on the ground anyway, and the Pirate Captain as well. So we'll see how this ends up working out. Already you can kind of tell that this character may or may not be particularly good on the kill 30 enemy dungeons, unless these little dino buddies end up being super strong or something like that. And then finally we've got the costumes, which are a little bit lackluster. They're not really that impressive. I guess they are actually going for the kind of these are called Road Wrangler and Biker and stuff like that, but ultimately it just looks like the Gunslinger, but a little bit maybe he's a little bit more built or something like that. I actually like this costume and this this one as well. Even the default costume's okay, but the fact that they're trying to push like a cowboy dinosaur character is a little bit odd because the gunslinger already has it. Now, what could end up being cool is if each of these costumes would end up changing your dino buddies. That could be really cool, especially because this one actually says it's a steampunk and this one's a camo one. I would love to see some steampunk dinosaurs. That would be so sick, seriously, and especially if it ended up changing your ult. Now, I don't know whether or not the Dino Tamer's ultimate, like the bird that you ride, because it's not a dinosaur, I don't know whether or not it's actually been changed. Maybe they're gonna change what it looks like, but the fact of the matter is that these costumes are pretty much the same ones that we ended up looking at the first time that somebody dug up some information about the Dino Tamer, right? And we'll see what ends up happening with the final product. I do want to confirm that yes, this is a thing, everybody, because everybody always asks. However, I do want to say, just because everybody always asks me as well, I have no idea when this class is actually coming out. I'm assuming that the devs are focusing right now on all those dragons that are coming into the game, because there's actually quite a few more that they have planned on the way. And then I think that's kind of killing time so they can work on this class, as well as this class is supposed to be coming out with a new biome that's actually a Jurassic type of biome that's going to come with the class, which is very exciting because it's been so long. Like, I think the last biome they added to the game was what, the Treasure Isles, like 50 years ago, because all those new elemental worlds, those don't really count because they're just kind of messing with current generation and stuff like that, right? So it'd be pretty cool to see what it ends up being in the final part of the game, you know. And either way, thanks for watching, everybody. If more info comes up, of course I will let you know, but from this point onward, we kind of know everything there is to know about this character outside of when it actually shows up on the test server. And then of course, you know, I'll have a video of that one like right away and try to get a class tutorial out for everybody. But either way, thanks for watching, everybody. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed it, don't forget to duke in the like button, share favorite, and subscribe to join Team Pixel Sino, and stay epic, everybody.